Hey everyone, so a little something different to review today. I've not seen anything quite like this before. These are not drinking straws. They are part sparkler, part glow wand. There's 6 in a pack. They're by Gemstone Fireworks. There's 2 pink ones, 2 yellow and 2 blue. I don't know if that's just decoration or if when we light those, that's actually going to be the colour of the sparkler. So yeah, quite unusual. So half of it's a sparkler, the other half is a glow stick. Let's have a look at what the label says. So they are category 1 and the NEC is 18 grams in total and there's 6, so that's 3 grams of powder in each of these. Let's open them up and see. I'm really curious about these. I have my reservations, but we shall see. Let's get one out and have a little look. Let's get a blue one out. Oh, it's coming out with a yellow one. Okay, so they're kind of stuck together a little bit with glue. So yeah, that's interesting. Those two are actually stuck together. So yeah, this is the glow stick part. And then this is the sparkler part. I'm not sure if the glow stick goes all the way through or if the glow stick kind of ends there. It's difficult to tell really. So really unusual to have a glow stick and a sparkler together. And we'll try these when they're dark and see. I'll be honest, I do have some reservations. I'm a little bit concerned. Normally when you have a metal sparkler, you can wave it around and it's fine. This, I'm not sure if... In fact, there we go. I think I have actually just activated the glow. Yes, by waving it around, I've just activated the glow in the daylight. So, but my main concern is once this lights, obviously, is this going to melt the plastic? Are we going to be able to wave this around without it snapping, breaking? I don't know. But yes, I think I have. You can see that because, of course, it's daylight at the moment. I think I have activated that particular one. Be also interesting to see as well if the colour is just for show on these or whether the sparkler here will be yellow and that sparkler will be blue. And also obviously because they were stuck together with glue, if that gets hot there, is that going to melt? Is that going to fall off? Is there sparkler composite all the way down here or is it just a little bit? How long are these going to last for? I've got so many questions, so let's shut up and let's just light them and see what they do. Now, I was expecting these to be sparklers, so I set up my camera quite close accordingly. And did I get a surprise when I lit one? It wasn't a sparkler at all, it was a fountain. A little reminiscent of an ice fountain perhaps that you get on top of a celebration cake. Talking of which, do check out my ice fountain comparison video, nice little segue there, a link to which you'll find in the corner of the screen now. So I reset my camera on a slightly wider shot and lit another one. Once I got over the initial shock of it being a fountain rather than a sparkler, the fountain itself was pretty good. It was really bright, narrow and well defined. It was actually quite noisy too. It certainly had a bit of a crackle to it. It also maintained a constant, consistent height of around 60 centimetres throughout its impressive 74-second duration. Now, I was expecting a sparkler, not a fountain. In fact, there's nothing on the packaging or label to indicate otherwise. Sparklers, of course, burn very hot and remain hot for some time afterwards. But a sparkler's heat is pretty much contained within a few centimetres of its body, as the sparks don't travel that far. With these sparkler and glow wands from Gemstone, the sparks radiate out over half a metre away from the body of the sparkler, glow stick, fountain, whatever it is. So just how safe is it as a sparkler? Okay, experiment time. I have a piece of white A4 printer paper, 80 GSM, so normal standard printer paper, nothing special about it. I want to test how this works in terms of what heat does it produce from what height. So I have one of these set up on a stand, and behind it I've got another stand with some markers on. So orange is 25 centimetres above, blue is 50, green is 75, and red at the top there is a metre above. I'm curious to see what heat these generate at what different heights, so we'll test that with some paper. I've also got a glove on just for extra safety, so let's light this and see how we go. Okay, so first with the paper 1 metre away from the firework, and then 75 centimetres. When the paper was at 50 centimetre distance, sparks were starting to hit the top of the paper. But the paper was fine and there were no marks on it. At 25 centimetres, there was still nothing on the paper. Going down to around 10 centimetres, and there were a couple of faint marks left on the paper, but I wouldn't class them as burn marks and the paper was still okay. It was only when I got down to around 5 centimetres that the paper finally caught light. So actually there was not as much heat generated by these fireworks as I'd feared. Okay, so what do they look like in the dark when you're waving them around? And is the glow stick part, the handle, any good? So I lit 3 together and waved them around, which should activate the glow stick components. Now it's worth noting that with a traditional sparkler, you can wave those around quite vigorously and they won't go out. The same thing can't be said about these. A little mild waving, and within seconds the pink one had gone out. Now that aside, I've got to admit, these did actually look good. Oh, and then the blue one went out. So down to 1, but it did look great. Almost reminiscent of a magic wand you'd seen waved in an animated Disney film with all its sparkles and trails. They do work upside down as well. And there you can just faintly see a yellow and blue glow from the glow stick handles, but it is very faint. So I decided to relight the part spent blue sparkler, which was actually more difficult to light the second time around. And then use that to relight the remainder of the pink sparkler, so I could get maximum enjoyment from all the items. Here's me really getting into it. Well, it's not every day I get to act like a kid and wave sparklers around. Oh, and the blue one's gone again. Anyway, after I'd had my fun, I took a look at the glow stick handles. With the amount of waving I did with them, I would have expected that by now they'd be fully activated and glowing quite brightly. They were far from that. I bent them and waggled them about some more, but the glow was still very dim and uneven. I manipulated them some more, and it didn't really get all that much better. I tried activating the glow stick handle of another wand in a little more light. Now the instructions say to bend once, snap and shake gently. I did have to snap and bend these in several places to get them to activate. And even then, after some serious shaking, the contents and glow were still quite uneven. Here it is in the dark. Now, my super low light cameras do make this look quite a lot brighter than it actually was. In real life, this was really dim. So let's look at the price. The recommended retail price, or RRP, for a pack of Gemstones 6 sparkler and glow ones is £7.99. But you can typically pick these up for around £4 to £5 a pack. Now, you're not going to be buying these for the glow stick part, let's be honest. £4 for 6 74-second half-decent ice fountains, though, isn't bad value at just 66p each. But at £8 a pack, I don't think that's great value. Interestingly, as a little aside, when looking up the RRP on the manufacturer's website, I noticed that their product image of this pack indicates 6 different colours. In the 2 different packs I had to test, there were only 3 colours, 2 yellows, 2 blues and 2 pinks. Anyway, how do I summarise this rather unusual one-of-a-kind product from Gemstone? Let's look at the good points first. The fountains did have a very good duration to them, and they were really bright. They had a nice little crackle in them too. They did look fantastic when gently waved around in the dark, much better than traditional sparkler, as they left a little trail of sparks behind them. They didn't produce too much heat, and if you're bored of traditional sparklers and want something a little bit different, then these are certainly a novelty. But let's look at the negatives. The glow stick handles were, frankly, rubbish. They're far too easy to accidentally activate, as I did, and yet at the same time difficult to fully and evenly activate. But activations aside, they're just really dim. Okay, what glow they did produce did last for some time. I gave up taking photos after 3 hours and went to bed. Because let's be realistic, after you've used these sparklers, who's going to then be carrying around a quite small glow stick that's all sooty at one end and which you can't even make into a loop or bracelet that you can wear so you don't have to carry it? Next, these items are not sparklers. Everything on the label indicates and gives the impression that they are. And so if you've not seen my video before and you don't quite know what to expect from this product, you might get a surprise when you light one, as I did. Thirdly, despite there being 3 different coloured items, yellow, pink and blue in my packs, all 3 produce an identical silver fountain. It's a shame, I would have liked to have seen different coloured fountains for the different coloured bodies, and Bright Star Fireworks actually do a similar product, albeit without the glow stick handle, called Wizard's Wands, where each handheld fountain in the pack of 4 does produce a different coloured effect. So it would have been nice to see something like that. Fourthly, you can't wave these around as energetically as you would a normal sparkler, otherwise they'll likely blow themselves out. And they do produce quite a bit of smoke too. A final negative point is that it's really not clear from the labels, firstly whether these are fountains or sparklers, but also whether these are suitable for indoor use or are intended for outdoor use only. Given that the sparkler bit is effectively an ice fountain, which ice fountains you can use indoors, some might think that you can also use these indoors, as it doesn't explicitly state they're for outdoor use only. I don't know the answer, but given the amount of smoke they produce and the fact that they're designed to be waved around, I personally wouldn't want to use these indoors. So those are Gemstone's Fireworks pack of 6 sparkler and glow ones. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more firework reviews.